I'm SJ,
I'm Jeff,
and we are the
and we're the
Popcorn
Popcorn Patrol.
Patrol. This week we have a movie for you guys on Netflix. It's called The Outlaws, starring Adam Devine. Pierce Brosnan's in it. Ellen Burstyn is in it. And yeah, who else is in it, Jeff?
Nina Dobrev from
Nina
Vampire
Dobrev.
Diaries. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, um, yeah. It's got a pretty big cast. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, big cast.
Awesome. So let's get right into it. Um,
I don't have a lot of stats for this one because it's one of those Adam Sandler straight to Netflix movies. It didn't go to theaters. It like the budget was 47 million, which I thought for this movie that was
big.
pretty high. Like,
Probably because they had to pay the actors all of that
yeah,
money, right?
yeah,
Like
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah,
Pierce
yeah,
Brosnan.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so I guess first we'll talk about the casting,
Yeah.
what we thought about the casting.
Sure.
Um,
What did you think about the casting? We'll start with you first.
I thought the casting was interesting. There
Mhm.
was like a mix of old and new and kind of middle of the pack. Um, I was a big Vampire Diaries fan, so when I seen that this movie had Nina Dobrev in it, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. Get to
I
see her
wish
act
she was
again."
in it more. Did you not wish she was in it a little more?
I wish she was in it a lot less. And
Oh,
the reason I say that is because I didn't care for her at all in this movie. She was such a non-factor in this movie that it was just like they could have just had this fiance as like an imaginary fiance or a no-name actress. Um, or I guess maybe Nina Dobrev is that now. I'm not sure. I don't think she's
oh.
been in much since she left the Vampire Diaries.
Oh, like I think she's been in like a rom-com on Netflix where she meets this guy online and gets catfished. I think was like one of the movies. I think it was a
Okay.
holiday movie. I watched it a while ago. Um, I mean, she's an okay actress, so I don't mind seeing her. I think maybe if they had made a better part for her, it would have been maybe it would have been cooler if she was in Adam Devine's position.
Oh, okay. So I guess the premise of this movie is um, a guy and girl are getting married,
Right.
and the guy, Adam Devine's character, hasn't met his in-laws yet, and his
Right.
in-laws have always been this mysterious family that has never been around their entire relationship, and they finally are going to meet the in-laws. And they meet them, and it goes kind of well, very awkward, but went really well. But
Yeah.
then, like the next day, um, his in-laws rob his bank that
Things
he's the
go
bank
down.
manager of. And it's all his fault because he got drunk the night before and told them all the information.
Will
And it
be.
turns out that they're like the ghost bandits or
Yep.
whatever, that rob banks everywhere, and they are in like they're over their head in debt to like a mob boss. And yeah, it completely goes downhill like very fast.
So I had a
Just
question for
yeah.
you. I like that actress in as the Russian lady, but she's not Russian. So is that cultural appropriation? I was like, this is a little kind of weird. But I guess there are people, all sorts of people in Russia. But um, yeah, I found that a little weird. But I liked her. I liked her a lot. Did you get her name, Jeff? Because she's in a few things on Netflix. Like never, I think she's in um, Never Have I Ever, or yeah, that's a Mindy Kaling production there.
Oh, you're talking about Lorna? Is that her
Yes,
name?
Una,
Yeah. Yeah.
Una, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, she's been in it. She's been in a few things actually.
yeah. She
Um,
has been. Yeah, I've seen her in a bunch of stuff.
okay, she's in Defending Jacob. Okay. I I really enjoyed that TV series. It was like a mini series, like
Yes,
five or six episodes or something like that. It was all right.
Chris Evans, right?
Yep, yep.
That guy. Yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I did
Uh,
see that. She
yeah.
was.
So the other casting was like Pierce Brosnan is kind of like a bigger
I,
name back in
I
the
was
90s.
surprised. I was surprised to see him in this. I don't know why, but he looks good, and he was kind of funny, like a little bit, more serious of a stern kind of role. But
Did you catch the James Bond joke in
I
there?
did. I wrote
Yeah.
it down actually.
Oh, that's great because I was totally going to butcher that joke. But I'm glad you wrote it down
Yeah,
because
I I wrote down like I liked that they did a little nod to the James Bond the number 5 that he was in
yeah,
specifically. So I thought that was kind of cute. Um, yeah, and Ellen Burstyn, I didn't expect her to see her in this as well. And she was okay in it. Like it wasn't anything special. But I found it weird. Like, I don't know if it was a thing. Like all the ladies were hitting on Pierce Brosnan, and that's his wife is sitting right there, and she's not like saying anything.
So is that so Pierce Brosnan and Ellen Barkin are
Oh, Ellen Barkin. Sorry, I'm so
they're
sorry.
married or
Yes, because they're Nina Dobrev's parents.
oh, you mean in the movie his wife? Okay, I thought you meant like in real life.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
bad.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
No, yeah, that's funny.
It
Yeah,
was, yeah, yeah. It was a little
yeah.
strange, but
Also, Michael Rooker was in it. He played Merle from the Vampire or from The Walking Dead, and he also
oh yeah, as
played
the sheriff or what, or the
yeah,
FBI agent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the agent. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then he played uh another character in Guardians of the Galaxy. Um,
I do remember that. Yes, he has the faux hawk or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know his name?
guy with the faux hawk.
His name's Yondu.
Yondu.
He had that like arrow that he whistled and controlled.
Right.
But yeah, anyways. Yeah, so like the cast is all right. Like it's got a bit of star power there.
Yeah.
Um, I believe the breakdown was 17 million for the cast
Okay.
and 30 million for the production.
And
That I mean, that was I found it on a website that kind of breaks that stuff down. So I'm not sure how accurate it is. Maybe we'll find out.
yeah, I mean, Netflix has that cash now, right? Like, I know they're pulling mine, so they're, they're pulling mine, so I know they have some cash.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so I don't doubt that they put a lot of money into production because they have that money to put in for to production. So
I
yeah,
felt like Pierce Brosnan and his on-screen wife, they had pretty decent chemistry
yeah,
together. They played well off each other. They were really good. They seemed to always be like in sync, and
yeah,
that was pretty good. I'm not sure about Adam Devine and Nina Dobrev.
yeah.
I don't know.
They
I,
had
it, it
cute
it
moments.
wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just kind of there.
Can I tell you something? You know who I
Absolutely.
really, really liked, and I wish they were in it more, is the two token black coworkers. Love
Oh,
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The security guard and the work associate. I forget their names.
Who was the security guard? Um, Lil Rel Howery.
Yeah, okay.
He has been in so many things that is just like, man, this guy is hilarious.
Yeah,
I
he was
absolutely
funny.
loved him in this. Like he was really good in Free Guy, Space Jam.
Right.
There was another one. Yeah, he was in Get Out, and he was the friend
Okay.
trying to tell his buddy not
Wait, don't tell me. I
to.
haven't seen it. I haven't seen
Oh
Get
yeah,
Out.
yeah. It's not a
No.
plot thing. Just he's trying to convince his buddy not to go, like to
Okay.
see meet his girlfriend's family. But yeah, he like just hilarious. But he wasn't that funny in this one as he was in other ones. So I don't know if the script wasn't as good for him, but like
Yeah.
he was still funny. Just I remember like,
I
you know,
still found him funnier than a lot of the characters in this
oh
movie.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I
Like
hate to
when when was it the agent and Adam Devine's family are like stalking the bank, waiting for the bank robber
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at Adam Devine's bank,
And they're
and
waiting at the
they
parking lot in the
yeah,
parking.
and he's just like he comes over and he's talking to them, and they're just like, yeah, we're waiting for the bank robbery to happen. He's like, another one? Like, I'm out of here. I quit. Like, he
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like walks away.
yeah.
He's the security guard on a smoke
I
break.
do like the actor that plays Adam Devine's dad. I've seen him in quite a few things, and he's always like kind of awkward, funny, and I enjoy that a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know
Richard
if
Kind.
Richard,
I'm
is that his
sure
name?
I'm sure I'm butchering his name one
Okay.
way and saying it right the other way. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that's all right.
He
Close
does a
enough.
lot of voiceover in TV series. But yeah,
Yeah.
I seen him in a few things. He's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think that my two favorite characters, the funniest ones, would be the two coworker friends at the beginning of the movie. Then, I mean, then Adam Devine probably,
Okay.
um, and then Purna, and then the other three. Nina Dobrev lost on that list because she wasn't really a factor for me in that. But overall, it was an okay casting.
Yeah.
I don't know that they could have casted a better person, I want to say, than Adam Devine, sorry. I think he was okay. He was good, decent. He plays the same character, I feel, though, in a lot of the movies.
Most of those Adam Sandler guys do play
Yeah.
the same character. It's like a typecasting thing. But you know
Yeah.
what? He got a portion of that $17 million, so I'm sure he's the A-lister, like he's the first one on the list, so he probably got a large portion of that compared to the rest of the group.
Absolutely. That's fine. I mean, I'm not knocking his paper or his try for the bag, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think overall the cast was decent. I felt like it could have been funnier possibly. Like Ellen Barkin,
Hmm.
right? I felt like she wasn't that funny in this at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Like more I think about it. And neither was Pierce Brosnan. He was basically playing like the grumpy spy dad or whatever, but
They were good together though.
they were
Like in my
decent
mind,
together.
they were good together, but yeah, Pierce Brosnan was playing like a serious role or
Yeah,
trying to be very serious with his acting with that. And because of that, it made parts of the movie funny because here's this guy trying to be serious and it's everything like I mean if we want to move on to the plot and story, this movie just keeps getting worse and worse and worse the further you go in. Like it's like on two
tell
levels.
the truth,
One,
Jeff.
the quality of the movie.
Yeah,
So the further you go in, the worse it gets. But also the plot, like the further you get into the story, the worse the environment is for everybody. You know, at the
right.
beginning, the guy's just like a bank manager and he's got to meet his in-laws, and oh, that's a scary thing to do, stressful. But then he meets them and then they turn out to be bank robbers and it just gets worse. And then, and then his fiance gets kidnapped and like they're in a gunfight in the middle of this like small-ish town. They're in a gunfight in this like cake store.
Divas, something divas or something,
Yeah,
vegan
two
divas.
divas. Yeah, yeah. And like just and then it's like it's
And
a
then,
gunfight. The fiance gets kidnapped, and
right?
then they go to rob another bank and they screw it up. And then they rob like they got to go to like rob another bank. So now here's this bank manager trying to rob the big like rival bank
Yeah,
who and he just walks in.
I know.
Like he just walks in and you heard we got robbed and like I wanna
The security system or
make
look
it
at
better.
yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, he's like, show me yours, and she's like, okay, all right,
She
let's
was
go.
she was weird AF.
Oh yeah,
Like I
definitely
was
weird.
like, okay,
Yeah,
like I've seen her in a bunch of stuff too, and she's always a little like quirky. She always plays like a little quirky character. I think that's her thing. But um, I forget the actress's name. I'm sure you can pull it up for me.
Lauren Lapkus.
Lauren Lapkus. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah. I mean, she was. I would. She was funny only because she was saying some mess. Like she was just verbal diarrheaing, and it was
Yep.
kind of funny. But and it was like crass. Like probably she had some like super crass lines compared to some of the other actors, but
Yep.
um yeah, I mean that was interesting. And then he started, I noticed like when he went in to rob the or went in to look at the safety system, he was wearing like a black leather jacket, like a cool guy black leather jacket, and he had a little swag on him. And I was like, oh, okay, Adam Devine just like got cool all of a sudden because he's going to go rob a bank. So he wants to be part of like the Ghost Bandits or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of funny. Kind of chuckled at that. Um,
And how none of these people like went to jail. I guess the in-laws went to jail, but like
no, no, no. Okay, can I talk about this? Why were there's no there's no scenario where they just got arrested that they would be allowed to go visit their daughter for the day to go to the wedding.
it's
In
true.
no scenario.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
was
true.
so I was like my mind was blown. I was like, absolutely not. This was just
The other part too that was like mind blowing was when the Lauren girl
yeah,
when she was taking like the police or security or whatever to go into her vault,
right.
and he's in there with the door closed, hiding under the table, asking if it's over yet.
Right.
But it was like 40 minutes between when he stole the money and left the bank,
Right.
chased around town,
And
and
came
like
back.
and then came back into the vault that you needed two people with one of the keys being the one that she had on her person
Yeah, yeah.
to get back in. Like
Yeah, it was a little weird.
I don't yeah.
Timing. And they do that in a lot of movies where they don't like they think the viewer's like super stupid and won't figure it out, but they're like the person left somewhere and then they're gone. But it's like the time is all off. Like the timeline, they don't like connect the timeline properly. There's like these little indiscretions that don't work, and you notice them like as a viewer, like as a movie watcher, you notice them. You're like, mm, I don't know, it's not passable. Like there's a few movies like that that I've seen where I'm like, what are you trying to do here? I think you're missing the mark. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's like the main goal of the movie, okay, they rescued the fiance, and then it's all of a sudden like the movie's over now because they rescued her, but there's no like cleanup. They just drove a Brinks truck through a town with millions of dollars scattered all over the roads,
yeah,
and this thing like they crashed through a cemetery
yeah,
of like hundreds of stones, and like they they don't get caught. I
yeah,
mean, the in-laws get turned in at the end,
sure.
but they like what?
And
Like,
then and then his cousin or whatever, Adam Devine's cousin, is the getaway car, played by Blake Anderson. And so he pulls up and he's on the megaphone and he's saying like,
in the ambulance
"Get the ambulance."
with the
So
sirens on,
he's like super loud, like putting the sirens on, but he's also like, "Hey, did anyone?" Or like, I was
quarter a
like,
getaway car.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was like, okay. And there's someone walking right by. If I heard that, I'd be like, oh shit, what's going down there?
yeah.
Like, I would be like,
And I will correct myself. Sorry, it wasn't a Brinks truck. It was that ambulance that they
it
had the
was the
money and that they were like, it was the money was going all over the place. And
right,
yeah,
right, right, right. I fell out the car or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. The movie itself is ridiculous.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's no doubt about it.
It's a typical like Happy Madison production, and I watched it with my wife, and
Yep.
she had her phone out after about 15 minutes into the movie. um
Okay. I watched this in pieces. I'm not gonna lie to you. I could not sit through the whole thing. And there was like some times at the end, like during the vault scenes and stuff, I would just like kind of like more fast forward like a couple of seconds at a time because I'm like, fuck. And so like I would just like kind of like scroll it really quick, like really quick. And then I think I sat down like 3 times. Okay, so the first part I watched about 4 times on different occasions, just because I was busy doing stuff, and I was like, I don't want, like, I know how this is gonna go. So, anyways, finally, when I sat down to watch it, I watched like the first chunk, and then the second time I watched the middle chunk, and then the other day I watched the end chunk. So I watched this in pieces. So,
That probably
oh
made it worse.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
dragging its feet for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
how long was that movie, Jeff? Can you
That movie was I'm not sure. I'll
eternity?
have
It
to
felt
look
like
it up.
eternity.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was going forever and ever. But it was the same. It was 2 minutes longer
$65?
than 65 was. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
65 was an hour and 33 minutes. This one is an hour and 35 minutes. And
Oh,
boy, does that extra 2 minutes make a huge difference.
oh no.
Like that Adam Driver movie that we reviewed last podcast
Yeah,
wins an Academy Award compared to this one.
right.
Like, and it was just a movie. That's how I rated it. It was just a movie. It's a
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
that, you know,
yeah.
I watched. And this one is just like, this is a dumpster fire. And I've seen this movie. How many of these has Adam Sandler made? 90, 100 of them? Like, but in all fairness, he's got some like bangers out there, like
Yeah,
bangers of a
and he
movie.
has a loyal following. So anything that he makes, people will watch it just because it's an Adam Sandler production or it's a Happy
Yeah.
Madison production. And I think that you kind of expect those movies for what they are.
Yep.
You're not going to get like oratorical fireworks or some cinematic masterpiece. You're going in there to chuckle and, you know, just watch the craziness ensue. And that's what you get. I think that's what
Yep.
you get with this movie. It's no more than that. And um I found it a little slow in the middle for sure. I think that didn't help its situation. Um, you know, I also wanted to bring up this point. Do you remember the Red Charger scene? Do you remember the Red Charger scene where it's a chase scene between he gets in his car like he's following the parents all sneaky
Yes.
in a red Charger
Yeah.
that they gave
Yeah.
him?
Yeah.
I was like, is this a joke?
Yeah.
It's got to be a joke. It's got to be part of the whole joke, right? And of course, they know he's following them because they
Oh, of
recognize
course.
the car as a bright red Charger.
Yep.
So I thought that was funny. And there's these are the good points like that were entertaining for me. And the part where they're in the vegan diva cake place and the when everyone's shooting up everyone and she takes the jelly,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
she squirts it across her neck.
And
And I
lays
was
in the
like,
corner. Yeah.
yes, girl, I'm with you. I would have so done the same thing. I would have been like, phew, I'm out.
Out.
Like
Yeah.
it was that was like probably the best scene of the movie for me, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that was pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
that one was funny. Um,
Yeah. There wasn't really much special effects in this one.
no,
But like the comedy, I don't like the comedy wasn't the greatest. It was like, haha, okay, yeah, yeah, we've heard that one before, Adam Sandler, oh yeah, we've heard that one before. I don't know if I'm just getting kind of like tired of like the dumb comedy where it's
yeah.
just like things are dumb and that's what makes it funny. Like this for me was like the comedy wasn't very good. Um, it's just like average, maybe a little bit below average.
I mean, yeah, I think I tend to. agree with you. And it's funny, like I do like Adam Devine, but I feel like it's formulaic with him. Like he's always singing in the movie. He's always um saying like totally crazy things. Like these are just characteristics of him as an actor, I guess. And yeah, I mean, it was all right. It wasn't as funny as I had hoped it. You know, they always make the video or the movie look funnier than it actually is. And to me, that's like a warning sign because I like a little bit of quirkiness and offbeat comedy too. But this was like just a little, like you said, we've seen it before, you know, with these productions. So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely don't know that I would go see this in a theater at all. At all. I might not even watch it at home again, ever.
Yeah. So your overall experience is kind of negative.
Yeah. Do we want to rate it? Do we want to rate it?
Yeah, we can go ahead and rate it.
Okay.
I got my rating firmly right in.
Okay. What's your popcorn rating? I think, okay, let me guess. Um, the dinky, like the smallest popcorn with no butter on it.
Yeah, this is like the kids combo sized popcorn. It's stale from yesterday. Like they've recycled this popcorn. It might have even be just swept up off the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but there's
Yeah.
popcorn in that pail. Like there's popcorn there because this is not the worst movie I've ever seen. There's
Yeah.
still a little bit of popcorn in that bucket. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's stale popcorn. It might have been dirt in there, but no, definitely no butter, like none at all.
Yeah. Yeah. No
Yeah,
flavor.
no
Um,
flavor, no little powder pack that you pour on the top. Not nothing of that. All that flavor is natural from the ground.
yeah. I tend to agree with you. I think this was like a super small popcorn with a little dash of salt on top. That's it.
Yeah,
Dry.
yeah.
Um, unfortunately. I hate to say these things because I always feel for the actors who are like trying to do something funny or work on a project, you know. Um, but yeah,
I think that for the most part that they know what they're getting themselves into,
yeah, I
right?
guess
Like you're like I don't know that I'd like to think that they are. You know,
mhm.
that's not to say that there wasn't hard work done on this.
Yeah,
It just means that the hard work was pointless.
yeah. Harsh.
The
Um,
box is recycled too. Like it's a recycled bag they pulled out of the garbage.
for the
Like
popcorn.
yeah. But like I said, still popcorn in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
There's popcorn there. We're
yeah,
not gonna talk about the quality of the
yeah,
popcorn.
exactly. Yeah.
My friend
So
she used to work at a cinema, and there used to be like mice that used to run through the popcorn in the nighttime, and they used to serve that shit the next day. This was that kind of popcorn.
you know what? I'll tell you this. This is gonna sound stupid and it's gonna sound ridiculous,
Yeah,
but it's like when I was a kid, my dream was to be like the GM of the Maple Leafs
okay,
and like or to like something along that lines. As I get older, I want to work in a theater. I want to work in a theater. I want to own a movie theater. Like I
yeah,
want to like that's what I want. That's what I'd love to do. But yeah, no, I wouldn't play this at my movie theater.
yeah,
We
be
ain't
honest.
selling no admit tickets to the Outlaws.
I agree. I expected more because I had heard, like I listened to a lot of podcasts too, and so I had heard him on a few other shows and people talking about how funny it was, and then maybe it just wasn't for me. Maybe it's just not my type of humor. I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't feeling it either, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to pass on this one for sure.
All
But
right.
yeah,
Well, yeah, there we go. There we have it.
another one down books.
Episode 2 in the books.
Episode 2 in the books.
So I guess next one they can look forward to our viewers can look forward to We're going to do Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in. I'm down.
Me
I will.
too.
Um,
So how
yeah,
we come up with that is like the first episode we decided that we were going to we reviewed 65, and so this movie The Outlaws, we had already planned to do this one, so it doesn't follow this formula, but we're going to take an actor from a movie that we review, and then we're going to do another movie that that actor's in, and then from that movie we'll pick another actor that's in that movie and do another movie that they've done, and that's just gonna make it easier for us for now to pick movies to do,
yeah,
and then maybe eventually we'll get a Patreon, and our viewers can subscribe, and maybe they can pick the movie
suggest
that we do,
stuff for us. Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
But
for sure.
we want to kind of get up off the ground before we do anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
So yeah,
this was great. I mean, overall, these two movies weren't like the worst I've ever seen. But they weren't anything to write home about. So hopefully the next one will be.
hopefully Dungeons and Dragons is better.
Yeah. I mean I've seen it again, but we're gonna rewatch that in
Yep.
detail, of course. So I know it's a good movie, but we'll get into it next week.
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
All right. Well, you were listening to Popcorn Patrol, and another week down. Jeff, have a great week.
You too, SJ.
Thanks. Thanks, bud.